Hi everybody, it's Liz Tolentino with Keller Williams in Valencia.
Keith Reno, Wintrust Mortgage.
And we attended a really awesome economic forecast yesterday, put on by the Santa Clarita EDC. And it was amazing. We had some amazing speakers sharing, some very valuable information regarding where Santa Clarita is going in the future as well.
Yeah, so we had 4 speakers. There was 4 main speakers. One of the gentlemen, his name was Lewis Horne. He was the divisional president, or one of the divisional presidents of CBRE. And CBRE, one of the larger, if not largest, commercial brokerage in the world. So he's dealing with big businesses, very high level, seeing where they're moving, why they're moving, where these large corporations are putting money and resources. Mark Schniepp, who is the director of the California Economic Forecast, so looking at big data as far as what's going on as an economy in the U.S.,
Yes.
California, Los Angeles, Santa Clarita, a lot of very interesting and overall a very positive outlook. Really, really good data that he was able to provide.
Yeah, and we had Emil Haddad, the CEO of 5 Points, who is the major builder of New Hall Ranch, or as he called it, the New Valencia yesterday. And he actually, what I loved about what he had to say was that he loves our city. He loves that our city government works with the private sector very well, and he gave us a lot of really good information. Ravi Rajan, who is the president of Cal Arts, talked about, he kind of gave us a different, he came from a different angle in terms of the talent that is coming to Santa Clarita because of Cal Arts, and how to keep that talent from all over the world in Santa Clarita, because Santa Clarita is such a special place to live and now to work, because so many jobs are being created out here and in Los Angeles overall.
Yeah, so they all had a unique perspective on how they were looking at, kind of their business and what they were seeing internally, but also how they were looking outward.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting that they all had a common thing, or a common perhaps issue or item that they were addressing. And
and I don't mean to toot our own horn, but they shared what we've been sharing with you for the last few videos, which is that we're not heading into the next real estate crash anytime soon.
Yeah, they all were really relaying a message and looking how they were addressing the lack of inventory, the lack of housing, particularly affordable housing, but just the lack of housing throughout Los Angeles, Santa Clarita. I mean, it's really a nationwide issue at this point, but very much so throughout California and in the Los Angeles area.
Right, the Los Angeles area, because there are so many jobs being created by Netflix, Google, Amazon, and these are actually good, high-paying jobs, and there are people out there, there are buyers out there who can afford a mortgage here in Santa Clarita and in Los Angeles overall, but there just isn't enough inventory. And we did hear from Mr. Haddad about what they consider to be some solutions. Affordable building homes differently and at a different rate, so that we can get more inventory on the market. But honestly, even him with such amazing infrastructure can't come up with homes within the next 2 to 3, let alone 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, this, at minimum, with the lack of inventory out there, and what I think we've been sharing is obviously we don't have that crystal ball, can't predict exactly where home prices are going, or the stock market, or interest rates, or things of that nature, but looking at the lack of inventory out there, and that we have, historic lows on delinquency rates.
Yes.
So, folks aren't going into foreclosure, folks aren't losing their homes right now.
No.
The builders aren't putting a surplus, or aren't set to put a surplus of homes on the market, so this supply and demand issue isn't going away anytime soon. So we kind of feel at minimum home prices are going to be holding. And then what, especially the gentleman, the economist for the state of California, he relayed that we're anticipating in this area and throughout Los Angeles, a 3 to 4% increase in home prices. Right,
3 to 4%. So what that means, and we've been talking about these numbers for a long time, and it really solidifies the information that we've been giving you, and thankfully we've been actually studying the right resources, because of an economist that does this all day, every day, is saying, hey, the market is not crashing, and actually what it's doing is it's stabilizing, or it's becoming more of a normal market, both for buyers and sellers, where it creates opportunities for both. And that appreciation rate is really interesting. We looked at the numbers not that long ago, and what we found is that if you purchased a home last year this time last year, it appreciated anywhere between 3 to 4%, which means that you likely made your your down payment back already. You've already made that back in equity.
Yeah. So to put some numbers on that, if someone's buying a $500,000 home, and buyers in today's market can put down somewhere between 3 and 5% on that home price. So they're putting down somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000.
Right.
And if they are gaining, say, 3 to 4% on that $500,000 price, then they are gaining that same really $15,000 to $20,000. So as far as a rate of return, they've received
earned it back.
100% rate of return. They've earned their down payment back. Now really they're coming out ahead. So that, and again, when we were looking at, and a few of these individuals touched on it, the high rents we have throughout the Los Angeles area, and with interest rates still being down, affordability in many areas, in many cases, especially in Santa Clarita with our strong economy out here. We're really set to continue to have growth and overall in a really healthy and strong position.
Right. Overall, it's very optimistic. If you're a buyer now, I think it's important for you to think about what the future may hold. And in the future, it's being forecasted that this time next year, appreciation will continue somewhere in the 3 to 4% neighborhood. So the homes will continue to appreciate in price. Because there just isn't any available inventory, and buyers are still, there are good qualified buyers out there who are still looking for homes, basic supply and demand, like Keith said. So we just wanted to let you know what's going on. And of course, if you have any questions or, are thinking about possibly buying, this year, next year, it's important to get these numbers. It's important to kind of get these points from the economy so that what's best for you and your family.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for spending a few minutes with us.
Have a great rest of your weekend.
Take care.